We're in a VHS footage, we are in the past. Who are watching? And more importantly, who are we? Found footage of roaming a house. Let's check out the first floor. Let's check out the first floor first. That is art. It's a grotesque hand, a flayed hand, but also a face. I guess it depends on who's looking at it. Like having a hand for a head. Ah, a tape recorder. So recording ourselves with a VHS, listening to a tape recorder.
In the psychology of the modern civilized human being, it is difficult to overstate the significance of the house. Since as early as the Neolithic era, humankind has defined itself by its buildings. Buildings for worship, buildings for socializing, buildings for protection, even buildings for the commemoration of the dead. But of all the structures that mankind has invented for itself, there is little doubt that the house is that which it relies upon most completely for its continued survival.
That's almost sounded. There's a tape in the dining room as well, okay. Is this documentation from an alien civilization? In the dining room. So much speech about houses. It sounds so much like it's not meant for the human ear. This is the living room or lounge. So dark here. Who's recording? And is this even a normal house? This would be the dining area. Okay. Still wonder, why are we recording ourselves while walking around listening to audio recordings in a house, listening to human behavior?
The house is one of the key elements that separates modern humanity from its more primitive antecedents. No other creature goes to such lengths to create lasting, permanent shelter for itself, nor regards said shelters with such reverence and import. Why do human beings of our modern age foster this tremendous sympathy toward their homes? There are many reasons, of course, but perhaps it is due in some small part to seeing them as a reflection of ourselves.
Oh yes. Slam. There's also a tape in the downstairs bathroom. How do we know this? Well, we must have planted them there then. Downstairs bathroom. This feels like a bathroomy place. Gotta sound like a knock as well. Okay. I'm not sure if I heard something there. I heard it sounded like a pling. Okay. It's like a dream, one of those weird dreams. Why are we listening to this? We know the tapes are there. Didn't we already listen to them at one point?
The anatomy of the house is such that this analogy is less superficial than at first it may seem. To carry it further, if we were to dissect a house as we might a human cadaver, we would find ourselves able to isolate and describe its various appendages and their functions in a decidedly anatomical fashion. There is even a fair number of direct comparisons to be drawn between those organs of a house and those of a human body.
Clank. There's a tape in the garage. Sounds like a door opening. Or did it just unlock for me? As if I'm a rat in an alien experiment. Yeah, that was most definitely not a human. You sounded human enough. But maybe you're not a human at all. Am I an alien? Am I an alien? Wait, I can understand the speech made by someone describing this meant for non-human ears, apparently. and I'm documenting while walking around. Is this like a tutorial thing? Not a tutorial, more like a scientific training program before we go to Earth, where we sort of. Oh god, it sounded like a knock again. Sort of preparing us for human structures. We cannot dissect the house, you know. It's very different from biological. Are these aliens even biological at all? Christ.
For example, let us examine the living room. Often the dominant space of a house's ground level, as well as typically the center of activity in a well-populated home, the living room is very much the heart of the house. While a human heart circulates blood to oxygenate the body's extremities, the living room circulates people, activity, communication. It is the room most likely to be found beating, as active and vivacious as its name would imply. The comparison is only strengthened when we consider also that the living room is most commonly the room to contain the fireplace, making it additionally a locus of actual physical heat.
So many comparisons to the human body. They are not human. We made them to stay in them, but they have nothing to do with humans. I keep seeing moving shadows. Maybe that's just a VHS feeling. Twice now I felt something going under a chair somewhere, like a shadow. So you spoke about the living room? I didn't read the text, but I suppose since you spoke about the living room, maybe that's where the next tape is. I didn't see it there a moment ago. Okay, the VHS effects made it look like this thing had red eyes. I mean, once again, it's depending on the eyes that see the art. Oh god. Yeah, here we go. It has nothing to do with humans. Ooh. What are these, huh? Smaller one is supposed to be a dog. The larger one, maybe also a canine. And here we have just a human. I hear something walking. Jesus Christ. These alien creatures love to dissect and all, and you can see there's letters here that I can't interpret. Alien language, perhaps. Alien to me, at least.
It is easy to think of the kitchen and dining room as the stomach or digestive system of a house, though this comparison is tenuous. By contrast, the function and analog of a bathroom should be immediately obvious. The hallways and corridors of a house are its veins, providing circulation coursing throughout its frame. A staircase bears more than a passing resemblance, both physically and symbolically, to a spine. The windows of a house serve much the same purpose as eyes, and anyone who has ever rounded a bend or long drive and come suddenly face to face with a tall, dark manor will tell you that it is difficult to shake the impression that the house, through its lightless windows, is a creature capable of vision and intelligence.
There's a tape on the stairs. On the spine. Yeah, of course the bathroom makes sense to what you want to compare with. It's literally the room where the house itself or its appliances talk more with our body than any other room where we just stay. Huh? I guess I didn't close this door. Ah, these tapes are illuminative. Hang on, let me have a little peek. Tiny peek. Didn't really want to go up here. What's this? What's this? A spiral. It's the logo of Linux Debian. Now let's listen more to what you have to say.
The bedroom is perhaps the room that most eludes direct comparison in this fashion. At a stretch, and allowing for a bit of poetic sympathy, it might be said that the bedroom is not unlike the human mind, or those parts of it which dictate thought and imagination.
Yes.
In the bedroom, dreams are dreamt, passions are ignited, epiphanies are experienced in cold sweat at early hours. In the bedroom is where people invariably spend the majority of their time, though comparatively little of it whilst conscious.
Depends. It depends. Just step in the bedroom. I saw it again, a little shadow that flew around beneath me. Just as I inserted the tape. Was that just my hand extending to put it in and click the button? So yes, the epiphanies with cold sweat. Sounds like night terrors or nightmares. Let's have a look then. The majority of the time, I wouldn't say I'm like that. I'm more like an introvert and I like to stay inside as well. So I wouldn't say that the bedroom is where I spend most of my time. Maybe on working days. And yes, work, I guess that's a concept that you yet have to learn. That looks like a spider emerging from an egg. A spider egg. Never was particularly fond of spiders, and some sort of insectoid leg. A spider, perhaps, I don't know. Well, looky there. Some mosquito. God, it sounds like a knock again. Jesus. Oh, it's a big painting. Ah, it's a painting of... What? A baby. Aren't you look like you're a bit young to be sleeping in such a royal bed like this. But it looks like a face is emerging in the darkness. Is this depicting sleep paralysis? Or an alien? Ah, this looks so creepy. Okay. Ah, purple bed. God, it's so big here. It's so big. Yeah, the aliens must have built this artificially. And then it's sort of like an experiment that you let other aliens of their kind walk in and learn. It's sort of like a museum thing. But I don't think a human would put this in their room, particularly not in a children's room. And you're lacking all the toys as well. It's so big and empty. But they're trying to learn about humans. And the houses. This is the chapter where you learn about the houses and draw comparisons to the humans. You know, you learn the most by comparing to something you already know. So you already studied a little bit of humans, and when you teach others, you try to draw a comparison. Like, this is a house, humans stay here. This particular section of the house can be compared to this part of the human, so you understand somewhat of its purpose.
And yet this analogy is an incomplete one, for obviously the mind is an exceedingly complex thing. If the bedroom represents the thinking, dreaming part of the brain, then it is the basement that represents those lower, unconscious parts. The basement is dark. It is buried. It is a place full of cobwebs where memories are stored. A poignant comparison, truly. Often the unnerving uncertainty that comes with considering the deeper aspects of the human psyche is not unlike gazing down at the swimming blackness pooled at the bottom of a basement stairwell. It is a place we spend our childhoods filling with monsters that will lay for years in patient silence. It is a place that, barring some specific errand, we seldom ever want to go.
You pretty much nailed it. There's the tape in the basement. You nailed it. I wanted to say, yes, it's just like it's like a nightmare. You talked about nightmares, you talked about dreams, you talked about the mind in the second floor bedroom And the basement is sort of a physical manifestation, at least how we perceive it. It's where we don't want to go. We want to go to the bedroom. We know that falling asleep can be spooky because we can drift off to a land far away called the dark clouds of nightmares. However, the basement is how we perceive things could actually be there. We don't want to be there. The basement, is that connected through here? No, hang on. It's probably connected. I'm getting a basement feel from this, although under here would make more sense. But let's see. No, it's not there. Thought I heard a click though. Is it here? Oh, this is just the, yeah, this is the living room. Making myself a little loophole here. What have we here? This looks like a hospital, maybe, because there's a bed with someone laying in it, and you have those screenings to the right. Those, a blocking view, obstructing view. But what are they doing? The men standing around there have suits. They don't look like surgeons. Yet at the same time, this looks like something medical. So those are low quality pictures taken of the humans in their natural habitat, isn't it? But what about this? Do they have X-ray? Do they possess X-ray? Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. Well, there was a door in the kitchen. Oh, there's the exit. It sounds like someone's knocking. This leads down to an unpleasant surprise, doesn't it? But we should be safe because this is just exploring the interior. We are not human. We are merely observing the place, not the trauma. So it's okay. It's perfectly fine. Storage? God, there's a very weak ambience. Or I'm just going insane. I might very well go insane. You know, learning so much about humans in one day. What is that over there? That's just a cassette. Please let that be a cassette. That's illuminating. Half looks like a face. Jesus Christ. God, it does look like a face. It looks like SCP-087-B. Oh, fuck me. Okay, yeah. You made your point well. I understand how the humans feel now. Okay, yeah. I hope that was just me. It felt like someone sat there. Okay, then. Oh. Is my orientation way off? I thought I was headed towards the stairs. There are the stairs. Yeah, point taken. Fear causes disorientation. Huh, being a human must be very tiresome. Feels like a draft somewhere.
Of course, this comparison, though appropriate, is a very heavy-handed one, and often the basement is little more than a storage space littered with the corpses of spiders and woodlice. While poets and psychoanalysts no doubt dread the thought of a dark basement, in truth, it is the bedroom, the waking mind, that place of dreams. It is actually the most frightening of all.
The mind is indeed... Oh, master bedroom, okay. The mind... The most horrors of a human mind comes with an... I'm being human-fied here. And all the horrors come with it. The biggest of horrors come within the human mind. Now, let's head up to the master bedroom. Not a term I'm particularly familiar with, but it's so dark. And the knocking that occurs is probably just the wood, but it feels like knocking. A mirror? Ah, human set mirrors. I want to have a little look around this master bedroom. It's not every day I get to see a master bedroom. A big king-size bed, I assume. What? Is there a tape recorder in here? Ah, human cavity. Looks like there's a fracture up there in the human tooth. The old tooth looks a bit bent, of course. Maybe that's just me. And canine teeth. Well, this could also be a canine tooth. But over here, they are most definitely. God, I just feel that aliens gathered one example of one exemplary of, oh God, of a human person and just did so many experiments on them. Right? If there are the human teeth. It's the white stuff underneath. For all I know, they just cut this out of the jaw. Ugh. Who flayed them? Oh, God. Jeez.
It is here, in the bedroom, that we are at our most vulnerable. Each night we shut our senses to the world for hours at a time, trusting in the house to keep us safe until next we wake. In this state of extreme vulnerability, we will spend something like 20% of our lives. Anything might stand beside us, watch us, keep us company until dawn, and we would never perceive it. We can only pray that the house will not let such things carry on as we sleep. In this way, during these hours, the bedroom seems less like a mind and more like a mouth. For it is here that the house is most likely to betray us. It is here that we place ourselves most at the house's mercy and spend each night hoping that it will not bite down.
So much talk about teeth. God, I thought I saw something out there. Ah, the game closed. The experience is over. We awoke. I see human being again. From a nightmare. Or is it a warning sent from outer space into our minds? Very interesting game, Anatomy. That was truly interesting, dude. It's fascinating. I've always been of the opinion that less is more when it comes to atmosphere and horror, which I feel that this little experience has mastered. Not much, if anything, has to happen, but it can still be extremely dreadful. And I loved it. No cheap jump scares or anything. But are you going insane? Are you really hearing something? Maybe I'll even see something during video editing that I didn't see during playing, and the thought thrills me. For now, have a pleasant night